Have you ever noticed that right before something shifts in your life, everything seems to go wrong? Right before the opportunity, right before the peace, right before the open door, right before the clarity. It's almost like clockwork. You finally get focused, you finally get disciplined, you finally start believing again. And suddenly, here come the distractions. Not random distractions, not new distractions, familiar ones. The same three that have shown up before. I call them the familiar devils. They are not always evil in appearance. They do not always look like destruction. Sometimes they look comfortable. Sometimes they look emotional. Sometimes they look urgent. But they all carry one assignment: to pull you out of position right before your breakthrough. Why three? There is something powerful about the number three. Three represents completion. Three represents confirmation. Three represents a pattern. Think about your life. When something repeats 3 times, you pay attention. 1 time is coincidence. 2 times is interesting. 3 times is a pattern. Breakthroughs often follow patterns, and so do distractions. Right before elevation, there is usually a final test. Not 10 distractions, not 20, but 3 major ones that feel intense, familiar, and urgent. They show up in cycles, and if you are not aware, you will think it is just life happening. But if you pay attention, you will see it is pressure before promotion. Let's talk about the 3 familiar devils. 1. The emotional distraction. This one hits the heart. An old relationship resurfaces. An argument suddenly happens. Someone misunderstands you. Someone from your past sends a message. You start feeling lonely out of nowhere. It is emotional turbulence. Right when you are focused on your goals, your peace gets shaken. Why? Because emotions cloud clarity. When your emotions are stirred up, you stop thinking strategically. You start reacting instead of responding. You start defending yourself instead of advancing yourself. The emotional distraction wants your energy. Breakthrough requires emotional stability. It requires grounded thinking. It requires maturity. But if the familiar devil can get you offended, hurt, jealous, anxious, or nostalgic, you will abandon your forward movement to deal with emotional chaos. And here is the key. It is usually something familiar. The same person, the same argument, the same insecurity, the same wound. It feels personal, it feels urgent, it feels heavy. But ask yourself, why does this always show up when I am about to level up? Because emotional instability is one of the easiest ways to derail destiny. Stay calm, stay aware, stay grounded. Not every emotional moment deserves your full attention. 2. The financial distraction. This one attacks your security. Right when you decide to invest in yourself, something breaks. Right when you commit to growth, an unexpected bill appears. Right when you are about to step into a new opportunity, money gets tight. It creates fear. Fear says, now is not the time. Wait until you are more stable. Be safe. Play small. The financial distraction wants you to shrink. It wants you to abandon bold moves. It wants you to doubt your expansion. It wants you to retreat into survival mode. When you are in survival mode, you do not dream, you do not build, you do not expand, you only maintain. And breakthroughs require risk. They require faith. They require movement. They require stepping beyond comfort. The familiar financial devil often shows up right before expansion because it knows if you cross that line, you will never think small again. And here's what makes it familiar. It is usually the same fear pattern. You have survived before. You have handled tight seasons before. You have made it through before. But in the moment, it feels new. It feels overwhelming. It feels like proof that you should stop. But what if it is proof that you are close? Pressure often increases right before something shifts. Do not let temporary pressure cancel permanent progress. 3. The mental distraction. This is the most subtle and the most powerful. Self-doubt, overthinking, comparison, second-guessing, sudden exhaustion, sudden confusion. You were confident yesterday, now you are unsure. You were clear last week, now you are questioning everything. This familiar devil whispers instead of screams. It says, who do you think you are? What if you fail? What if people laugh? What if you are not ready? It attacks identity. Because if it can shake your belief in yourself, it does not have to block your opportunity. You will block yourself. The mental distraction creates analysis paralysis. You start researching instead of acting, planning instead of moving, talking instead of executing, and days turn into weeks. This distraction feels intelligent, it feels logical, it feels responsible, but it is rooted in fear. Right before breakthrough, clarity is tested. Will you believe what you saw when you were strong? Or will you surrender to doubt when pressure rises? The familiar mental devil usually shows up in the same way it always has. The same negative thought patterns, the same inner critic voice, the same comparison trap. It is familiar because it has worked before. But this time, you are aware. Why they come in threes. There is something about intensity in threes. It feels complete, it feels overwhelming, it feels like too much at once, emotional pressure, financial pressure, mental pressure, all at the same time. It makes you feel like retreating. But what if it is confirmation? What if the resistance is not punishment? What if it is positioning? When you are not close to anything significant, distractions are light. But when you are close to transformation, resistance intensifies. Because something in you is changing. Your standards are changing. Your thinking is changing. Your discipline is changing. Your vision is expanding. And anything that benefited from the old version of you will try to pull you back. The emotional ties, the financial fear, the mental insecurity. They are familiar because they are connected to your old level. Breakthrough requires a new version of you, and the old version will try to survive. Your season is not announced quietly. When you are about to walk into your season, it does not always feel peaceful. Sometimes it feels chaotic, sometimes it feels confusing, sometimes it feels heavy. But chaos does not mean cancellation. It often means transition. Think about birth. Before something new is delivered, there is pressure, there is discomfort, there is intensity. 3 strong contractions often signal that delivery is near. Pressure. Pause. Push. Pressure. Pause. Push. The distractions are contractions. They are squeezing you, testing you, stretching you, but they are not there to destroy you. They are there to see if you will stay focused. How to recognize the pattern. Awareness changes everything. Ask yourself, what are the 3 distractions that always show up before something good happens in my life? Is it relationship drama? Is it money fear? Is it self-doubt? Look back at your history. Right before you got the job, right before you moved, right before you healed, right before you launched, right before you spoke up. What happened? There were signs, but you may not have recognized them. Now you can. Now when the emotional wave hits, you can say, I know this pattern. When the financial pressure rises, you can say, I recognize this. When the mental doubt whispers, you can say, this has shown up before. Familiar devils lose power when they are exposed. Do not break rank. Your season requires discipline. When distractions come, do not abandon your routine. Do not stop praying. Do not stop planning. Do not stop creating. Do not stop showing up. That is what the distraction wants. It wants you to step out of position. Breakthrough is often one decision away, one more push, one more day, one more act of faith, one more refusal to quit. 3 distractions do not mean stop. They often mean you are close. This time is different. The distractions may be familiar, but you are not. You are more aware, more mature, more disciplined, more spiritually grounded, more emotionally intelligent. The same tricks will not work if you do not respond the same way. The emotional bait may come, but you do not have to bite. The financial fear may rise, but you do not have to retreat. The mental doubt may whisper, but you do not have to agree. Your breakthrough is not random. It is earned through endurance. It is secured through focus. It is protected through awareness. When you see 3, stand still. The next time you feel overwhelmed by 3 major distractions at once, do not panic. Stand still. Observe. Do not react quickly. Do not make emotional decisions. Do not shrink your vision. 3 familiar devils often show up because they sense eviction. They know they are about to lose access to you. Your growth threatens their survival. Your healing threatens old cycles. Your elevation threatens old agreements. So they show up loudly, but noise does not equal authority. It only means something is shifting. You are not under attack. You are under construction. You are not being blocked. You are being tested. And 3 is not a curse. It is confirmation. When the emotional pressure rises, when the financial tension appears, when the mental doubt whispers, smile quietly and say, I must be close, and then keep walking. Your season is not coming. You are stepping into it. Do not let the familiar stop the future. Stay focused, stay grounded, stay aware. The breakthrough is already in motion.